Hey guys, what is going on? It is XCKJ here today, bringing to you guys a video from Master Duel. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, I don't usually make Master Duel videos. Well, if you're new, I guess this is the first thing that you're seeing from me. But if you're old to the channel, don't worry, still gonna be making old videos on Paladins and everything. I just wanted to make a video on Master Duel because I've been enjoying it so much. Honestly, it has been so fun. This is a deck that I've been piloting a lot recently, just playing a lot of, and I figured I could just show it to you guys, let you guys check it out and all that kind of cool stuff. Basically, it is combo Burning Abyss, so it's not the Sekka's Light variant that a lot of people are playing. Sekka's Light variant's pretty good. If you do get this, there's a ton of different variants of Burning Abyss that you could play. I'll show you the Trap variant that you could play also. I personally think this is way more fun. Let me just give you the rundown, explain everything, and then we will just like jump into a replay that we've got going on. So basically, we're playing 2 Maxi. We're basically just playing the Maxi because I don't have enough material to craft an ultra rare, more Ash Blossoms. So if I could get this to be 3 Ash Blossom, I totally would, but Maxi is really good, so I'm playing Ash Blossom to be like, yo, I'm going to negate Maxi, but, you know, we are going to play Maxi. If we can't negate it, we might as well just play it. If, you know, if they Maxi us, fine. On their turn, we'll just Maxi them, that kind of deal. We'll just do that instead. It works. It's fine. Then we got the 3 Tour Guide because Tour Guide is the way. You don't really want to use it on your first turn. It just could kind of end your turn sometimes. In this variant specifically, it won't 100% end your turns most of the time, but it still hurts to get it. But going like, man, if you are in the grind game and you just keep on activating Tour Guide to start out your turns, like, oh, so strong. Or not even to start out your turns, but you'll see, like, in the replays, it is super, super strong. We're playing the 2 Skarm, 2 Graf, 2 Seer, 2 Farfas, 1 Libic, 1 Calcab, 1 Alec. Basically, the reason why we're playing 2 ofs instead of 3 ofs for like certain cards that you typically would be running 3 ofs in a Burning Abyss list is because we are playing Orbital Highlander right here, and with multiple names and stuff like that, we just don't want to see multiple names because Orbital is super, super strong. So we're running 3. I was playing 2, but honestly, I just want to see it in my opening hand every single time because it makes our ending board super strong turn 1 if we do end up getting that. We're playing the 3 Fiendish Rhino Warriors because absolutely cracked. We can send all sorts of cool stuff to the grave off of this effect. Great to discard, great to normal summon. Just a good card overall. I really like it a lot. Also, this can be just count as more graph and all that kind of stuff. And the reason why we could play 3 of this, I feel like, is just because it is so strong to get this effect off. It's just any Burning Abyss name, and if we do have too many, we can always just banish it using our snow. So we're fine there. I really just wish it was a dark, man. If it was a dark, it would be cracked. Absolutely insane. Oh yeah, we're also playing the 1 of Barbar, the 1 Ash. Honestly, if I could get more Ash, I would. The 1 Yan Yan. Honestly, it's okay. The only time I actually hate using the extender effect to summon itself out because it locks you in, like, it locks you, and when you get locked out of using your links and stuff like that, it just sucks. But with that being said, though, the banishing effect is really good to be able to shuffle something back, so we still have it in there. Moving on, we've got the 1 White Dragon and 1 Dark Dragon right here. Or 1 Black Dragon. Super strong extenders, work really well with the Chaos space. Honestly, these cards are the reason why I don't want to play the Sekka's Light because, oh my gosh, they're just so strong. I love them so much. Alright, we got the 1 Snow. 2 Snows just was too much. We could get Snow to the grave pretty easily. We got 2 Beatrice in the list, so we could put it in the grave pretty quick. I'm not too worried about it. Mally, just because Mally is really good. Honestly, sometimes just like tribute summoning for it, and also tribute summoning for this if something gets booked, or we just need to send a Dante to the grave, but we don't want to commit to a Link summon or something like that. It honestly, I've done it before, and it is not bad, to be completely honest. This Fabled, I don't know how the heck to say his name, really strong and an underrated card in this archetype. So basically, if this card's in your graveyard, send 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard, and then special summon this card. It's a 2200 beater. Usually I'm just using it for link fodder and to like get bricks out of my hands, like Edge Imp, or, you know, if we already use our normal and we have a Fiendish Rhino Warrior, anything that we want, like It is so good, super underrated, and you'll see a lot of the times, like, you're playing a tempo deck, so you just want to have, like, 6 cards in your hand, and you want them to have, like, you're trying to, like, out-resource them. Your boards aren't crazy, but you could break boards really easily. So this is just really good. You are able to use the effect a ton, and I like it a lot. The 3 Orbital Highlanders. Honestly, this is another card I wish I could have 3 of. If I could, I would swap out. So basically, in a perfect world, I honestly would probably drop these 2 cards, take out a tour guide, take out a Fiendish Rhino Warrior, and then be running like 3 nibs, 3 ash, 3 droplets, but expensive. Very expensive to run all that. So we were working with what we got, basically. Eventually, we will get there once I stop building random decks, because I just am building a lot of cores, so it's fine. We'll get there eventually. We're playing the 1 Duster because back row decks are annoying, and it's an out to, like, certain things. Like, we played pretty well under Skill Drain. Like, most of the time an Eldritch player puts us under Skill Drain and then realizes that we play way better than they do under Skill Drain, and so we don't really need it for that, but there's a lot of times where the Duster comes in handy, and it's super sacky, so I like to draw it. We're playing the Chaos Base because Chaos Base is insane, can help us get... It's, like, so good. We can literally shuffle back, like, Nibiru. We can, it's cool. I like it a lot. Also, what else was that? Oh, yeah, Orbital Highlander it works well with, so it's cool. Like it a lot. And then, also, we've got the 3 droplets here. And, yeah, the droplets are probably the most important ultra rare. If you don't have droplets, it's going to make this a little bit harder to play this list, because droplets is just so good in a deck where it benefits from discarding. Moving on, we've got the Gay Dante because, you know, why not? Purple Dante is super strong. We got 2 of the normal Dantes, the boys, Dante and the boys of the deck. But anyway, I mean, he's good. You don't need 3. It never, ever, ever comes up. Maybe once in the entire time I was playing it, I was like, man, what happened to all my Dantes? But I don't know. Anyway. Moving on, we've got Downerd Magician because Zeus Downerd is really strong, and it comes up a lot. I like double Zeus. A lot of people are like, oh, 1 Zeus wipe is enough. In this deck, there's a lot of times where I'm like, I get to double Zeus wipe, and it just feels really good. Also, there's times where you summon Dante back off a Seer, and then you need to put Downerd Zeus on top, and that's how you get the 2 materials onto it. We're playing 2 Beatrice because on our first combo, we're going to burn 1 Beatrice, and then sometimes in the grind game, we'll... you know, summon out the second Beatrice. So if we can play more than 1, we're going to be playing more than 1, basically. It's limited to 1 in the TCG for a reason. Playing the 1 Zeus, as we already talked about. Cerberus is a must-have. Honestly, I had the list without it for a little bit. It is so, so good. So we're playing 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix. Phoenix, of course, is like a staple in a lot of decks. 1 IP, because this is our first combo line. We're playing IP. Lina is really good. Once we get Dark, we'll also be including that into the list. Maybe, I don't know what we're going to be taking out for it. Maybe we'll drop a Beatrice. But for now, we only have the Light Charmer, so we don't have to worry about it. We're playing 1 Unicorn, because this helps us climb into Access Code. We're playing the Boral Sword Dragon, because this helps us OTK. Sometimes, like, Boral Sword is a better OTK than Access Code. It really, like... You're OTKing with one of these 2. And then the Apollousa, which really helps in the grind game. Sometimes you just, like, you're scared of their hand traps. You're like, man, I could either, like, go for game right now, or I could just make Apollousa, and I know that I'm going to be fine next turn because I got so much follow-up. I'll just negate all their stuff and play around hand traps. So, yeah, it's pretty much the entire list here. Let's jump into some games. All right, guys, here we are with our first replay from the deck that I just showed you guys. Basically, this is going to be what to do. The hand isn't amazing. We don't open Graph or Rhino, like any of the stuff that we want to see in order to make our opening board that we typically go for. But we open up well enough that I'm like, all right, I see a play here that we can still end with 2 interruptions and follow-up, and a lot of follow-up for next turn. So here, we just make Dante with a Skarm that was normal summoned, IP Masquerena, and then if we take a look into the graveyard here, we have, what's it? So we have IP, now we have 5 monsters, we milled off of Dante, and I was like, alright, as long as we hit like 1 thing, we should be fine here. I look into the grave, I'm like, alright, we have 6 monsters, we need to get this guy back, we have 2 Skarms. We're just going to get a Skarm effect in the end phase. That way we could summon out the Hydrolander. So we add the Skarm back to hand, then summon Hydrolander, and then this is the end of our first turn. So basically we end on an IP with a Hydrolander, which is actually really good because, so we're ending, we have follow-up in Tour Guide, and our discard is going to be Skarm, which is going to give us another Burning Abyss monster that we want during our end phase, whatever we want it to be. And plus we had Duster, which was a brick going first, but it's going to be really good going into like turn 3 here. Plus we have the 3 mills off a Hydrolander. The only reason why I didn't do it on my turn, I was like already getting the Skarm search, and I was like happy with this board, and I'm like, okay, if I mill here, like, best case scenario, I hit like some random, I don't know. I really didn't see anything that I needed to put in the grave at this point. So I was like, let's save it. That way we definitely get the effect to pop, because if we have matching names, we don't get to pop. And then we have the IP to dump this. So anyway, let's see what they end up doing. Go main phase to activate Extrav. Summon the shark. I just pop the shark off the board. And by the way, against like a lot of decks, man, like if you pop their first card that they summon, like a lot of decks can't play through that. So I just decide, okay, we got a graph here. We're just gonna do graph, summon Seer, get Dante back. And they just scoop up. They're like, yeah, I can't play through this. They had 5 cards left in hand, and I had 4 cards, and like I had a board and a ton of like, yeah, what are they gonna do against it, honestly? Another kind of weird hand. I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do with this hand? So I'm just like, all right, we just make IP and then pass from there. I don't even know if I end up getting to IP. All right, I get max seed. I ash it here. I think here I'm gonna normal summon Yan Yan. I should. Oh, I chaos space first. Right. Yeah. And then I'm gonna normal summon Yan Yan. Yep. Turn this into IP. And we're gonna get the search. And then we are just gonna pass on our IP bounce, which I was like, alright, hopefully this is enough. 1 interaction. I opened up just so terribly. They come down with the Regeki, and I like think hard here. I'm like, oh, do I chain this IP? And I decided to chain the IP. You'll see why, and then I'll explain what I end up summoning here. So here I summon out our good old Lina. Now Lina is gonna help us float into like a follow-up card. I'm like, all right, he's playing heroes. This is decent. He just summons us out. He thinks he's gonna be able to like start doing stuff, like he's gonna search for like you know, the whatever the heck it is, the fusion card, and then I'm like, all right, I know he's not going to be from here, he's not going to keep on playing, he's just gonna make Dark Law pass. Like I kind of can tell that that's his line of play here already, which that's just kind of, you know, I just had a feeling. So I end up just adding Snow, because I'm like, alright, Snow will add a Dark Law, because I just normal summon, Book of Moon it, boom, not under Dark Law anymore. He's going to attack. And then he passes. So, main phase, I'm like, alright, I'm just going to start out, make a Dante. After I make the Dante, I'll normal summon Snow. Book the Dark Law, and then I'll try to push for game. I see what I mill off of Dante, and I get actually some pretty good mills. Nothing really to hit with the Seer, unfortunately. Like, I already hit the Skarm off of the Rhino. So, just gonna get some follow-up there. And I just decide, alright, I'm just gonna make Zeus here. Suboptimal board, but he also didn't open super great either. Get the Skarm search. We got solid follow-up. Unfortunately, Mal is just like bricked in our hand, but it would have been okay if we discarded it. We didn't get the chance to. I probably could have Zeus there, but it ended up being fine. We just Zeused him right here because I was like, alright, this is pretty good if he has Poly in his hand. I don't want him to just get a lot of value off of that Poly. And I'm just like, now also, on top of that, I have a Book of Moon from my Snow now. So we'll add Seer back to get the Seer Dante loop started, and they are going to get this, which gets them to their poly. He activates it. Summons out Malicious Bane. I'm like, alright, I kind of gotta book this because I want to keep my Zeus. I didn't know if he had anything else. So we booked that, and he ended up having an extender. So I was like, oh well, what are you gonna do? Summons out this guy, which I think just adds another poly, right? Oh yeah, mirror. And then he just scooped up. He sat there. He thought a long time about what he's going to summon off the Miracle Fusion, and then I think he just realized he really didn't have anything. After he broke the board, I was just going to come back, normal summon Tour Guide, and just keep on playing. And then after this game, I will show you guys, this is versus a meta deck finally. And then after this, we will, I'll show you guys the Trap BA variants. Just a little deck profile quick if you want to try something else out. So this is the other thing. A lot of these guys, especially if like they're new, they kind of just learn the meta decks, and like if they're just playing on here, they just learn meta decks. So they come against a deck from a while ago, and they're like, "Yo, what the heck is going on?" They don't know really what to hit. He's just gonna go through random Dragon Link things. He ends up getting himself stuck at some point. Okay. Kind of goes through his whole motion here. Romulus. Uses out Ravine. And now he kind of just like screws himself here for some reason. We'll see what he does. So he summons out the Rockets. He makes Chaos Ruler. I'm like, alright, this all makes sense so far. It doesn't look too bad, you know? He ends up summoning this, but it's negated, and then he summons Hot Red, so I'm like, alright, this is gonna be annoying. And then he summons back Chaos Ruler again. And then he tries to activate this, and then he's like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, shoot, let me pause real quick. So, here was my line of play here. Basically, I was going to summon Farfa, special summon Seer, make a Dante, attack into Red Eyes right here, and then just go for Zeus for 4, and then nuke the whole board, because he had this negate. I didn't know that he had this Veiler. For some reason, he Veilered Farfa. I'm not exactly sure why he Veilered Farfa, but once he did that, I just changed up my line of play, because I was like, oh, I could literally just bait Hot Red by normal summoning Tour Guide at this point. So he kind of messed up there. I think that he just got confused. So I bait Hot Red, and I'm just scared about tidying right back here. So that's the only thing I really have to worry about at this point, which I just guess it wasn't. I don't know. We end up baiting out this back row eventually. Well, trying to bait it out, and then we get rid of it. So that's why I summoned the Calcab there. Go for that. By the way, every time you see me... pause this quick. Every single time I mill with Dante, I'm just trying to hit Graph. Like, if I haven't normal summoned Graph or whatever, and I'm milling off Dante, I'm like, please, let me hit Graph. Please. So here, we just... You're going to see, dude. Elena is just so good in this deck. It's crazy. We use Calcab to bounce back that card. Dante, just to add any name back, really. I just needed any card that I still could special summon. I was like, I just need more extenders. Summon back their Nib onto our side, and then we go for the Unicorn. Use this effect, shuffle back Hot Red, Seer, summon out Dante, and then summon out Orbital Highlander. Mill 3, and he pretty much just scoops up here. We just go into access code. Yeah, honestly, we just go into access code, wipe their field, attack for a ton, and then I guess we make Zeus and then pass. Or we go for an IP play. Probably just make Zeus, have 2 pops, and an Axis code that's super beefy. I would have thought about it. I would have seen how they kept on playing. But yeah, no. So anyway, there was those 3 games right there. Super fun. Honestly, really love the deck a lot. Let me show you guys. We're almost to Plat 4. I've basically just been playing nothing but this deck. And then I'm going to show you guys. It's honestly a pretty budget trap BA deck. Because I decided I didn't have like enough to craft the strikes and stuff. So at the time when I was playing it, I only had enough for 1 tour guide. So basically playing double backjack because literally everything's normal. And we play super well under skill drain, like better than most decks. And when we do skill drain, we just go Acid Golem beat down. So this is kind of necessary to have this. The only thing I would say, the extra deck is expensive. But other than that, like the main deck, you could look, it's so cheap. We literally, the only ultra rare we have is IO. Other than that, we have nothing else. Like, with 1 tour guide. Oh, and then the Judgment that I already had, which the Judgment actually saves me a lot, so would not want to take this out. But definitely give this deck a try if you wanted to try out Trap BA. And this is a little bit more normal of stuff. And you still want to start out, like, you try to just get your normal combo. Normal summon Graph, special summon Burning Abyss, turn them both into Dante, detach Graph, mill 1 or 3, but in this you're milling 1. And then Graph Effect, special summon out Seer, Dante, make IP, Seer summon back Dante adds Seer to hand, discard Seer, summon out Beatrice, and then set all your back row, and then pass. And now you have an IP, a Beatrice, and hopefully like 2-3 back row. And yeah, it's just really good, gives you a ton of value. And one tour guide also does that, so it's really cool. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and a thumbs up. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.